As the red magic circle flashed to life, Ghost Spirit sensed the sudden trap. Red energy surged into the sky as the spell fully activated. Surprised, Ghost Spirit questioned if it was a magic circle and wondered who had just appeared. Not knowing their goal or what the spell did, she decided retreating was her best option. Watching her leave, the blonde leader smirked, noting how fast she had run and calling her a typical rat from the Shadow Guild. Turning to her brainwashed followers, she commanded them to charge in and take over the boss. The squad rushed toward the boss, screaming for their guild to advance for their beloved master. The brainwashed warriors lunged at the lightning-infused platinum boss. Having slipped back into stealth, Ghost Spirit scoffed at their attempt to steal her kill. She knew that since she had already taken down 2/3 of the boss's health, only she would have the right to pick up the loot within the system's time limit. She planned to wait in stealth and grab the rewards the moment the boss was defeated. Standing on a rooftop, the blonde leader giggled, mocking Ghost Spirit for hiding and accusing her of planning to steal the loot. With a final strike, the Cloud Mountain Fog Guild defeated the Platinum-grade Lightning Saber King. But the system announced that because their battle contribution was only 27.5%, the loot was locked and could not be picked up for the next 43.5 minutes. Unbothered by the wait, the guild members surrounded the glowing loot, screaming at everyone to guard it until the timer ran out. Ghost Spirit acted in a flash, diving through the crowd and weaving past the stunned followers. But just as she reached for the loot, the blonde leader grinned wickedly, whispering that the target had taken the bait. She slammed her staff down, activating another magic circle. Ghost Spirit was caught off guard as a massive magic array flared up beneath her. It was the Desire Cage magic array. She was completely trapped, unable to move or use any skills, but also immune to damage until the caster released her. Her followers cheered that their master had caught her. Standing triumphantly on her brainwashed servant, the leader boasted that no matter how good her stealth was, she could not escape detection within her range. It turned out her hidden class was Array Master, the ultimate all-around class. Her wind-seeking array used wind currents to instantly find any target within a 50-meter radius. She then cast her next spell, the Lifespan Extraction Array, designed to drain the life force of anyone trapped inside. System alerts flashed that Ghost Spirit was losing her lifespan day by day. She panicked, realizing her lifespan was draining and cursing that she had been completely outplayed. Thinking fast, she contacted Shadow, telling him she had been ambushed and needed an immediate rescue. Shadow replied instantly, telling her to send her location. Meanwhile, the leader smiled, thinking that her skill could only steal a maximum of 5 years. The whole life-draining act was just a bluff to make her victim panic. It was all a setup. Her true goal was to lure out Shadow to avenge her older brother, Song Fei. She was Song Xiaoyu, his sister, who was determined to get revenge. Suddenly, a massive pressure disturbance warped the sky above. Song Xiaoyu's eyes widened. She knew Shadow had arrived. A red slash tore through the sky, slicing the brainwashed followers to pieces. In a single second, the entire guard squad was wiped out. Standing calmly among the loot was Shadow himself. Ghost Spirit eagerly thanked her master for the rescue. Shadow had no memory of this guild and figured they were just low-level players trying to take advantage of others. Shadow leaped and told Ghost Spirit to stay put, pointing out their leader on the rooftop and saying he was going to deal with them first. As Shadow charged at her, Song Xiaoyu laughed vengefully, daring him to come at her. But she had one more trick, the Resurrection Array. Suddenly, her dead teammates respawned inside her magic circle instead of their usual respawn points. The newly revived followers launched into the air to stop him, shouting that he had fallen into their trap. Shadow's eyes widened in surprise as he realized they could somehow track his movements. Even worse, as they flew toward him, massive paper bomb talismans glowed on their backs. Song Xiaoyu triggered her explosion array. A massive blinding explosion filled the sky, wrapping Shadow in fire and rubble, leaving Ghost Spirit in shock. Song Xiaoyu laughed maniacally at the pillar of fire, screaming at Shadow to die and crying out to her dead brother that she had finally gotten his revenge. But as the smoke cleared, a dark figure slowly stepped forward. Shadow calmly noted that they had been targeting him from the start. The system confirmed his shield of black light was gone, but his health was still almost full. Shadow casually told her she had done a decent job by just making him lose one layer of defense. Song Xiaoyu snapped, calling him a fool for being so arrogant and telling him to check his own status. With a sly grin, she declared that she had checkmated him, ordering him to become Her obedient dog. Shadow's eyes instantly glazed over, flashing with glowing pink hearts as the system warned him that he had been hit by the charm curse of Irenas, the goddess of ultimate love. Song Xiaoyu mocked Shadow, asking if he thought she would come unprepared. She declared that he had already lost, boasting that he had never expected her to have the ancient divine stone tablet of the goddess of ultimate love. With a wicked smile, she explained that any attack from her built up a charm gauge, and once it was full, he would become her permanent slave. She revealed that this charm had the power of rules itself, making it impossible for mortals to resist. But Shadow's system revealed that effects with the power of rules could only be cleared by the power of rules. Luckily, Shadow was holding his primordial grade divine weapon, the Blade of Judgment, and the system offered to resist the curse by using 10 of his 16 divinity points. Without a second thought, Shadow ordered the system to resist, instantly burning 10 divinity points. A bright light erupted as the system confirmed the charm curse had been completely purified. Song Xiaoyu was left in shock, screaming in disbelief at how he could have cleared her ultimate magic. Staring at his glowing weapon, she desperately demanded to know what that blade actually was. Shadow looked down coldly and told her it was time to die. Lunging in a flash, he drove his glowing blade straight into her neck. But right as he struck, his eyes narrowed in surprise. He swung around and easily chopped the heads off her brainwashed lackeys, who tried to jump him, but noticed something was wrong. He hadn't actually hit her. Song Xiaoyu turned into a glowing green phantom and vanished, leaving Shadow standing empty-handed. He instantly recognized the skill. It was Zuma's stolen Soul Walker ability. Shadow remembered the mysterious cloaked figure from Hu Keban's memories, realizing the mastermind must have saved her. Ghost Spirit eagerly asked if he had taken her down, and Shadow admitted she had escaped, leaving his student shocked. Shadow explained that someone was gathering forces to target him, and this ambush was one of their operations. Ghost Spirit was furious that some suicidal fools were plotting against her master. Shadow told her he wasn't worried about himself, but she needed to be more careful because she lacked experience and could fall into traps. Determined not to be a burden, she eagerly nodded. Shadow then handed her loot from the Platinum Boss, a new bloodline to fuse with in a dual-wield mastery skill book. She asked if he didn't want them himself, but Shadow explained that the bloodline's instant death effect was useless to him, and he had already mastered dual wielding. She happily thanked him and fused with the new power. The system confirmed she had acquired the instant death bloodline, allowing her to apply instant death points per hit, which would execute any target once the gauge was full. Shadow told Ghost Spirit this bloodline would take her damage to a new level. He added that 2 new NPCs were waiting at their guild hideout with useful features, making her gasp with excitement. Shadow said his next move was to head to the Bashu region to grind to level 30. He tasked her with keeping an eye on the foreign player guilds and the Cloud Mountain Fog Guild, and she instantly agreed. Far away in a mysterious cave, a flash of blue light sparked, and a battered Song Xiaoyu collapsed on the stone floor. Standing over her was the red-eyed leader, who coldly asked who had given her permission to act on her own, mocking her for thinking the bit of goddess power he had given her would be enough to kill Shadow. Song Xiaoyu snapped back, blaming him for ruining her plan and claiming she had been close to succeeding. She cried that she dreamed of her blood-covered brother calling for her help every night and accused the leader of not understanding her pain because he didn't have a grudge against Shadow. The red-eyed leader simply called her a foolish woman. As the shadows behind him parted, revealing a crowd of glowing red-eyed figures, he asked who among them didn't have a massive feud with Shadow. He warned her that if her selfish actions ruined their grand plan, the others would tear her to pieces, adding that no one could take down Shadow solo. He towered over her, telling her that if she wanted revenge, she had to follow orders. Crying on the floor, she finally agreed. The red-eyed leader stepped forward and told the group it was time to begin. Red lightning surged across his branded arm as Zentil and the other Black Dragon Guild members looked on. He raised his hand, channeling a massive wave of red energy into the air. Unleashing his skill, Murderous Intent Wave, the red-eyed leader began absorbing other players' kill values to boost his own stats. The system confirmed his stats had stacked to 450 layers, giving him a 900% attribute boost. But the leader wasn't satisfied. He sighed, saying if they had added the Cloud Mountain Fog Guild's kill values, they would have reached 500. He glared at the kneeling Song Xiaoyu, telling her that because of her mistake, they had to postpone their operation. Song Xiaoyu begged for forgiveness, willing to accept any punishment. The red-eyed leader coldly told her to apologize to the rest of the crew, leaving her fate to his men. Behind her, 2 creepy subordinates laughed and thanked their boss, leaving her trembling in terror. As the leader walked away, he said he would farm the final 50 stacks of kill values himself and ordered everyone else to stay put. Meanwhile, the thugs pounced on Song Saoyu, tearing at her clothes as she screamed for them to stop. Walking into the darkness, the red-eyed leader noted that they were only missing one final piece to kill Shadow once and for all. Behind him, Xiaoyu looked on blushing as clothes flew into the air and the screaming continued.